The impossible dream didn't end in Qatar. It just evolved into a final act of pure, calculated defiance. Lionel Messi arrived at the 2026 World Cup not as a man looking for validation, but as a king defending his territory against a world that swore he was finally finished. Let's rewind the clock. The qualifiers were a grueling marathon across South American soil. Messi opened his account against Ecuador in September 2023 with a trademark curling free kick that defied physics, bending around the wall to settle the nerves of a nation that still couldn't believe their luck. It was the first domino in a campaign that felt less like a tournament and more like a coronation. The real narrative, however, began in North America. By the time the group stages kicked off in June 2026, the age-defying rumors were peaking. Argentina opened against a gritty Canada side. Messi, playing as a deep-lying playmaker, orchestrated a symphony. In the 34th minute, he threaded a needle-thin through ball to Julian Alvarez, who slotted home. That assist wasn't just a pass, it was a map guiding Argentina through the congestion. By the 88th minute, with the score locked, Messi took matters into his own boots, dancing through three defenders before burying a strike into the bottom corner. 2-0. The statement was made. The knockouts were supposed to be the graveyard of legends. The round of 16 pitted them against a fierce Croatia team looking for revenge for the 2022 semi-finals. The match was a stalemate until the 76th minute. Messi picked up the ball inside his own half. He drew two defenders, shifted his hips, and accelerated. The burst of speed at age 39 was shocking. He squared it to Lautaro Martinez, who tapped it in. 1-0. Messi didn't need to score to destroy them. He simply dismantled their tactical discipline with a single transition. Then came the quarterfinals against a clinical Germany. It was a heavyweight bout. Argentina trailed early. The pressure was suffocating. Messi, often criticized for walking, was actually scanning. He was waiting. In the 62nd minute, he dropped deep, caught the German midfield out of position, and clipped a chip over the top that landed perfectly on Rodrigo de Paul's foot. De Paul crossed and the equalizer was in. But it wasn't enough. With seconds left in stoppage time, Messi stood over a dead ball 40 yards out. He didn't go for goal. He sent a laser-focused cross into the box. Tagliafico headed it home. Argentina marched on. The semi-final against Brazil was the game of the decade. Maracanã memories haunted both sides, but this was a neutral venue in a sold-out stadium in the United States. Neymar and Messi, two brothers in arms, locking horns one last time. Brazil played a high line. They dared Argentina to beat them on the break. They regretted it immediately. Messi didn't run at them. He manipulated them. He forced Brazil's defensive unit to collapse inward every time he touched the lever. In the 15th minute, he faked a shot, froze the keeper, and slid a ball to Enzo Fernandez, who rifled it into the roof of the net. Brazil equalized, then took the lead. Argentina was spiraling. The 82nd minute arrived. Messi won a tackle, drove toward the box, and was clipped. Penalty. The weight of 300 million people rested on his right foot. He stepped up. The stadium went silent. He didn't smash it. He rolled it into the corner, watching the keeper dive the wrong way. 2-2. Extra time was a test of willpower. In the 118th minute, with legs cramping and lungs burning, Messi initiated a 1-2 with Lautaro. He received the return pass, checked his shoulder, and curled a low, whistling shot past Alisson. It was his fifth goal of the tournament. The assist total climbed to 7. When the final whistle blew, the scoreboard read 3-2. Argentina was going to the final. Beyond the numbers, this run was about the complete shedding of expectations. People said he couldn't play in a high-pressing system. He turned that system into a cage for his opponents. People said he couldn't survive a tournament of this intensity at his age. He became the most efficient player on the pitch, running less but impacting more. Every goal was a masterclass in positioning. Every assist was an indictment of the defense's failure to recognize a genius in plain sight. He wasn't just playing football, he was managing the outcome of every match before the ball even moved. He arrived in the United States with 4 stars on the team crest, carrying the weight of a country that had already seen the summit. Now he stands at the precipice of the final once more. We often talk about Messi in terms of what he has won. We list the Ballon d'Ors, the Champions Leagues, and the World Cup trophy. But the 2026 run is different. It is not about the collection of trophies. It is about the absolute refusal to fade into the background. It is about a man who conquered the world, then decided he liked the view so much he'd go back up to see it one last time. The final looms, the world is watching, and regardless of the result, one question remains. How do you even begin to measure the legacy of a man who makes the impossible look like a daily routine? We are not just watching the end of a career, we are watching the final, shimmering embers of a fire that changed the sport forever. When the dust finally settles and the last whistle blows, will we remember the statistics, or will we remember that for one final month, the game itself seemed to bend, shift, and reshape itself just to accommodate one man's last dance?